Hi and welcome. We are going to take a look at Mister Trumpet Man. Wonderful piece, brilliant, full of character by William Gillock. And I'm delighted to be making this tutorial at the request of Helen. It's the title gives us a clue, Mister Trumpet Man. It could have been written on 3 staves, this. We've got some chords, usually down the bottom of the piano, and we've got a trumpet part. So we need 3 hands. So that is why we have so much leaping around. We go and be a band, then we go and be a trumpeter for a bit, then we go back to being a band. I think it'd be helpful. Let's first of all just think through the band part, those chords. I've got an accompanying rhythm section here, bass and drums, and I'm going to play, there's a fair bit of repetition in this piece, I'm going to play basically the first 15, 16 bars with the band, getting these chords down, and then we'll dig into them in a little bit more detail. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will do, 12 bars, perfect. And the blues sequence is there, isn't it? That we will come back to in a moment or two. So we need some weight on those chords, they're all short. I'm deliberately not leaning in too much so you don't get my grey hair sticking out the top, but really feel you can lean into your keyboard to play those chords. And they are all loud, aren't they? For the whole of that first 12 bars, confident, great sounding. The rhythm generally is quite straightforward, either starting on the beat or on the second and third beat. However, bars number 11 and 12 are a little bit more tricky. Let's just have a look at those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice those 2 end ones were just before a beat. That's the way I like to think of them. And that rhythm is identical to the rhythm in 35 and 36, which we'll come to again in a moment. I would also find it helpful to practice it, but feel, perhaps with your foot. I've got some slippers on here, I'm sure you'll hear it. I'm going to put my foot, tap my foot on beats 2 and 4. Let me go through those first 12 bars again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, that last bar is trickier. That's a great exercise. Beats 2 and 4 are the backbeat, and just feeling a sense of on those will really help give this music its drive, keep it moving forward. It's a great thing to do with all styles of jazz music. Feel beats 2 and 4. And it's tricky to do. If at first it all goes belly up, don't worry, just persevere. Perhaps just take the first 4 bars, for example. Let's have a look now at the second half, at the left hand. Same thing, just this group. So I'm going to go from bar 17. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So those we need to link up. I'm not using any pedal yet, by the way. It sort of falls very naturally back to that C chord. Let's carry on. Back to our G chord, and then we go through the sequence a third final time. 1, 2, 3, 4. that little bit there isn't part of the accompaniment, of course. I couldn't resist putting it in. And I started to sing very badly, but at least got the rhythm vaguely of the trumpet part in as well, just to count. So practice through definitely like that. That last line, the last 4 bars, you just have a look at those chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we do need to move our left hand there to get to 2 and 5 for those 2 offbeat chords there. It's a blues sequence, and it goes through it 3 times during the course of this piece. And getting your head around the blues will be really, really helpful. I've done a couple of other videos, one on C-jam blues that you might enjoy, and it introduces ideas of improvisation. And Hound Dog is another video tutorial recently done that touches on the same fundamentals. Let's now have a look at the trumpet part in the right hand. Okay, we're up nice and high. We'll look at how to get there in a minute, but first of all, let's just look at the notes and the fingering. 1, 2, 3. Now, did Gillock mean that slidey thing, or did he really mean? The answer is he really meant that, absolutely at the same time crunch. William Gillock knows what he's doing. If he'd wanted that, he uses it later on, doesn't he? That grace note, that acciaccatura, that crush notes idea. But here, now I'm no trumpeter. If you are, could you let us know? But I think what he's probably trying to imitate is that sort of, when a trumpeter sort of breaks a note, cracks a note. So it's sort of, yeah, that kind of sound. He's trying to imitating it on the piano. And the fingering, it's really good to work out what the fingering pattern is for the second half of that bar. Straight to 2 and 1. Because we're going to repeat that idea several times, and sometimes, we'll see in a second, the fingering pattern is just slightly subtly different. Then we've got a quiet mezzo piano. Before another loud, I think. So that time, 3, 2, 3, 2. Sorry, 3, 5, 3, 2. Whereas before it was 3, 5, 2, 1. Whereas here, 3, 5, 3, 2. Get your head around the difference between these lovely descending blues scale licks that he's using. Let's try from bar 5. 2, 3. Then the next 12 bars, the middle 12 bars, lots of trumpet solo. 1, 2, 3. So we've got accents there on the first beat of the bar and on the third beat of the bar. Some short detached notes, and we've got that held C at the end. Just a little bit of a lean on that C at the end. Then, yeah, a crush note, a slide up from the flattened fifth, one of the blues notes. Now I did 4th finger, 3 to 4 there, 3 to 5. Carry on. Short. Again. And the rhythm got this great swing rhythm all the way through. Keep going. Now there's quite a lot in those few bars. We just think them through again. I'm going to go from bar 19. 2, 3, 4, rest. So again, loads of syncopation, feel the beat. We have to feel the beat in us. I'm going to count it aloud this time. Same thing, count every beat. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So I'm knowing exactly what's on the beat, and I'm making sure I'm landing on those really in time, and what's swung after the beat or before the beat, depending on how you want to think about it. And let's now go from bar 22, similar thing, nice and steady. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's dying away. That top C being the highest note and being the most important of that phrase there. So aim for that one. And then the third way through our blues. Let's play the trumpet part. We recognise this from earlier on. 2, 3. 2, 1. Band. 3, 2. And quiet. 1, 2, 3. Boom. We'll come to this bit in a minute. Again, I think 3, 4 works for me, just as we did before. That's the finger that I'd be inclined to use. That's fine too, that works. Now then, let's think about putting the trumpet with those big band chords. And the big difficulty is that you're going to have to be leaping around the keyboard quickly to find your places. And there is one nugget for practicing this, one golden nugget. No, I'm just calling it a golden nugget. It's a useful tip. I think this will work. I'm going to move my hand as quickly as I possibly can, and then I'm going to pause there for a split second before I then play the phrase. Move as quick as I can, and only when I'm there ready, I know I'm in the right place. If you do, let us say, 5 or 6 of those on the trot, you will soon start to feel the benefits of that. Now, some of these leaps are more difficult than others, I will admit. And the one at the very end of the piece is possibly the most difficult of them all, because it's such a huge distance. Let's just give that a try. I appreciate it's slow at the moment, but practice that moving as swiftly as you can. That'll be really, really helpful. Dynamics are a key thing for this piece as well. We've already looked at, haven't we, those quieter sections for the trumpet in the right hand. And articulation, those chords nice and short. So let's now put them both together, the trumpet and the band. I'm going to play it with my drummer and bass player as well, just to keep the rhythm really tight. And these backing tracks are available for you to download on my Patreon page or through the website if you prefer. And I will add in the pedal now. The pedaling basically do what it says in the book. There's one specific point I think is really useful. If I go from 17, then at the end of 18 here we're going to link. I'm going to link those two chords with my pedal. I can almost do it with my fingers, but not quite. So I'm going to definitely have a bit of a dab of pedal there. And elsewhere, it's just going to give an extra bit of to the sound, if you know what I mean. So this is the slow version, 80 beats per minute. There's also a 116 beats per minute version. Let's hear it right the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a great fun piece to play, it really is. And have fun using these backing tracks as well. It really help lift your playing, I think, and give it an extra dimension of fun. That sort of slow practice, by the way, is so really useful just for learning these leaps. It's always useful, but especially here for being comfortable with those leaps and getting the hand, as I said, moving quickly, but having time in this while we're practicing it to make sure we really are, the hand is ready before we start playing. We're teaching our hand the leaps, in effect. Helen, I hope you found that useful. Any questions, do get in touch. Take care. Bye-bye for now.